Hey y'all, today I'll be ranking the weapons from Enfosi, so let's get this started. So first up we have Giggle Bat and Giggle Pistol. I'm going to put both the Giggle Bat and the Giggle Pistol in the kinda terrible tier. Both of them are starter items for gigglers, and they become useless for later waves. Next up is the Giggle Guitar. It's a pretty good item that is useful to stun Enfosians, but not effective to gleebers or glabbers, so it is still a good item. Next is the Gazo Pistol. I don't even use that one much, but it's not that good either. So it's not bad by a fraction of it when you're helping with your teammates, taking down Enfosians coming near to the statue, but kinda terrible either way. But I would put it above Giggle Bat for that. Now, we have Paintball Gun, a bit decent with the damage, but you can reload it. This one is okay in general for taking out any Enfosians that slips by behind. Next is Gazo Rifle. Gazo Rifle is pretty good and has good damage per second. It also has a good amount of ammo. You can kill Enfosians from behind while you're out in the field helping out with your teammates. Gloober Sign is a top-tier weapon for mostly healing your allies, despite it having a low damage output. You can heal your allies whenever they're low on health and necessary to the team. Next is Gloobnut, a pretty good item for a greater amount of healing to allies. However, this thing can explode if an Enfosian steps on it, and it can be thrown to heal allies or damage Enfosians. Now for Goobab Gun, it's decent at best. I don't know what to say about it other than it damaging Enfosians and healing allies when you are using it. Now, Gembo Ball is a good weapon, but it was updated recently. The capacity of it had been halved, making you go back and forth to reload due to a very low amount, but it still is useful in certain situations and is still good to use. Next is Rubber Hammer. Also a pretty good weapon, but the problem is that you can get a fucking strike if a Enfosian is next to a innocent and hitting them with the explosion effect next to a innocent. Overall, a top-tier weapon which you can use to wipe out multiple Enfosians. Gemblade is very much a top-tier weapon. You can parry an Enfosian's attack that deals damage to them, but the cons are that it applies punishment to Gembos if they miss a parry taking 100 damage from it. Next up is Cheer Present. It explodes and has great damage. It can be boosted to increase the amount of time for the lingering gas to happen. So it's definitely a top-tier weapon, and you can do tons of fun things with it. Surprise Trip Mine is a pretty good weapon, but it has some cons, though I'll explain what the cons are. This thing detects an Enfosian nearby, but it sometimes activates and sometimes doesn't, dealing damage and can be boosted for more. The trick for this to work is to place it immediately and place the present in the same position as the trip mine to make this shit work. Aside from that long-ass explanation, we got Confetti Cannon. Now, Confetti Cannon is a pretty good weapon, but it has very bad spread to begin with, but you can act it like it's a shotgun. I would high-key recommend this if there is an Enfosian glabber nearby and your allies to help taking them down. Next is Gleeboard. It's pretty good with the knockback damage it deals and the skate ability along with it. It's very helpful to hit Enfosians with Gleeboard to keep them away from crowds and such. Next is the Juice Blaster, a support weapon for giving your allies a speed boost. The problem with this is the same reasoning for Gembo Ball. The capacity was halved, which kinda sucks, but it still serves as a good weapon. Now for Gleebox. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother asking why. Now, Glabber Club is definitely a top-tier weapon. It can deal a massive amount of damage and very useful to have during waves. However, this one is suited to Glabber classes as it can one-shot a fake Giggler and Gazo. This would stand out as a better weapon to use for other classes if you're trying to take out fakes that slips past you. Pumpkin Launcher is the only weapon that doesn't take damage, but rather slowing down enemies if they get ahead of you. It's pretty good, but I see it being used a little less when I join with randoms in-game. Last is Hungry Ham. It's okay in general, but not better. Either you can hit Glaggles to regain health, so it is a bit decent if any healing items are on cooldown. That's all for my tier list. Bye, and have a nice day.